Good morning, YouTube. Happy Memorial Day. It is Saturday before Memorial Day, and we are out here with the Focus ST, which is just a complete disaster right now. I've been so busy, and when I haven't been busy, the weather's been just terrible. Not that I couldn't, I guess, wash it inside, but yeah, man, it's a good little mess. So the topic of today's video, hopefully the lens might be a little foggy right now. If it is, I'm sorry. As car people, we think it's silly for people to trade cars in, or at least I used to always think so. As I get older and think about things a little differently, I don't necessarily believe that anymore. I definitely think there's a time and a place to sell cars yourself, but there's plenty of valid reasons why you don't want to do it, and that's what we're going to talk about today. But I have only, you can see the shade line there as it's coming in. It's going to take a little over an hour before it gets to this car. So I'm going to finish this and then get inside where it's nice and cool. Get your ball. Where we're going to talk about this a little bit more.
Day 2.
Driving with my four-ways on because I just went through this massive puddle. I'm not about to let my car get all messy after that. Alright, let's talk about this in more detail. There's 3 reasons why people trade cars in. It's going to be hard for car guys to understand. I know. Hi, buddy. Look at the belly. Yeah, you can't fit through there. All right, let me get Lotus out real quick. Need to go potty? All right, as I mentioned previously, there's 3 reasons. And they boil down to how fast you can trade a vehicle in, how easily you can trade it in, and how much time you can save doing that, which is a little bit different than how fast you can do it. Why people do this from a speed perspective. Let's say you want to buy a new car and you need to sell your car first, or get rid of your current car. If you're selling it yourself, more than likely it's not going to happen immediately. Where any dealership, just about, you can walk in and sell your car that day. Will you get the price you want? Probably not. But you can do it, which is the difference. Even if you decide to list your car at a great value, let's say your car's worth 15 grand, you're like, I want to sell it today, I'm going to list it for 10. A dealership will give me 10. I'm going to just list it for sale for 10. You still need somebody to show up. I mean, yeah, there may be people, but most of the time they're going to be like, well, I'm all for... Seriously, AC? Alright, the AC kicked on. I'm not sure where I left off. So even if you list your car at an insane price, you still are not going to... The odds of somebody being able to buy it that day, very small. So for somebody who maybe has found their car and wants to get rid of it quickly, that's where a dealership is really going to help with that. Let's talk about ease. As car guys, we may not think it's a big deal to buy and sell cars, to go to the DMV, to get notaries, to swap titles, all this stuff. Most normal people, never even seen a car title, no idea you should go to the DMV, don't even know where the DMV is, who knows. They've just never done that sort of stuff. The non-car folks, they have no idea. So if you've never done it, it's very easy for car people to sit back and judge and say, oh, you could have gotten another couple grand. Yeah, but there's a lot of unknowns, areas where it's going to be a lot of struggle for them, and it's going to take extra time. Speaking of time, let's talk about the 3rd reason. That's the most important, and that's the one that I never fully understood until a little bit later in life, until I got a little bit older. And that is, it's very hard to comprehend to some people. Oh, well, thank you. Oh, everybody come over. Lotus. All right, now we're not trying to get in the car. Anyways, as a car person, it's very easy to sit back, as I was just saying, and judge and say, oh, you could have gotten an extra 2 grand or 3 grand or 4 grand or 5 grand, whatever the number may be. And to car guys, like, that's like a
you're like, to most people even, that's a big number. Oh, you could have saved yourself. Well, you could have gotten yourself an extra $3 or $4 grand. And all it would have taken is a little bit of work. But first, is it a little bit of work? Is it a little bit of work to list your car for sale, to take some good photos, to write up a good listing, to think about all the maintenance and modifications or all that stuff that you need to list when you go to sell a car? Then there's the dealing with people. And any of you who have ever sold a car knows that you just get so much crap, so much annoyance of solicitors, one, and then just tire kickers, people who have no intention of buying the car or are delusional in thinking that they have intentions of buying your car when they're not. Civics are the worst, by the way. There are professionals out there, like people in their profession, that they make a lot more money than they would save by doing this. Because you see this a lot. And I can remember specifically one case years ago. One of the guys I used to detail cars for was selling an Audi A4, and when he told me the price he was selling it for, I was like mind blown. Like, I feel like the car's worth several $1,000s worth more than that. But he just wanted the car gone quickly. And for him, I don't know what he made. He owned a business, engineer, all sorts of craziness. But even if it, at a quote unquote fair price, that would have still been way cheaper than you could have bought that car at a dealership used, he was just going to have to deal with so many people emailing him or calling him or wanting to come see it, wanting to test drive it, and all this stuff, to where he probably made more money just working and selling it at a loss, or not a loss, but like just selling it cheap like that. He honestly, those few $1,000s that seemed mind blowing to me, to him was probably like just not even worth it. Just know that time is quite literally your... He wants his ball. I'm not giving it to him because he's just going to put it back under there. Anyways, we're almost done here. Time is your most valuable asset. Doesn't matter what you do for a living or who you are. Time is something that we all have the same amount of. You all get 24 hours in a day.
Go lay somewhere else. Go on.
Some people just, it really isn't worth their time. Even if they don't make an insane amount of money per day or hour. Lotus.
Guys, can I just have like 5 minutes? Just 5. Yes, I realize that's 35 pup minutes.
Anyways, if you have a real job where you make a decent living and it requires, you to focus on that job and, mental capacity to perform it, honestly, taking what amounts to multiple interruptions throughout your days of responding to these people who are interested in your car, it's probably not worth it, honestly. I think back to when I was working an office job and when I was selling my last 2 cars that I sold privately, which was my Civic and my ISF. I can remember, going back outside because I had driven one of the cars that day and somebody asked for a specific picture. So it was like, hold on. So like I left my desk, I went outside, I took that photo, just all those interruptions that, how much did I save by not just trading it in and being done with it? Now the Civic, it was older, it needed to be private sold. But the ISF, like honestly, I think back and it's like, I probably should have just traded that in and been done with it. Because it took a lot of time. And then the guy flew in, I met him at the airport, all this stuff. And it's like, at the end of the day, yeah, I got a couple, $2-3 grand more than I would have off trade. But it's like, I don't even think it was worth it at the time. So now, if you're a younger guy or if you just got a lot of free time, then yeah, sure, it absolutely makes sense to do that sort of stuff. If you work 40 hours a week and that's it, then yeah, you probably have the time to go ahead and, sell your car yourself. But if you're like a lot of people and you work more than 40 hours, I work more than 40 hours a week. Selling a car myself, the thought of doing that, I don't know. When the next time comes that I have to sell a car, I dread that thought of selling a car myself and just having to deal with people. Oh my gosh. I'm going to end this video. I think you guys get the point. You know, don't undervalue your time. Don't overvalue your time. A lot of people do that too. Overvalue their time. But don't undervalue your time and how much mental capacity that's taken away and how much time it's taken away for you to sell a car that at the end of the day, how much more did you really get? Plus you get tax credits a lot of times.
Good boy.
Oh. Anyways, hopefully this video makes sense. I think it'll make more sense. There's the next video, which I've actually already shot and edited. That's going to come out after this video. Kind of ties into this, and you'll kind of see where I'm going with this. With that being said, subscribe to follow along, like if you enjoyed it, comment below with any questions or comments, anything like that. The pups have their own YouTube channel now if you didn't catch it. It's just that Enzo and Lotus. I'll put a link below for that as well. I'll still have some pup content on this channel, but I'm going to shift most of it over there. Other than that, appreciate you guys as always, and we will see you on the next video.
You want your ball?
All right. See you guys on the next video. See, that's what I mean.